Okay, so just welcome back. Yesterday we worked through a number of different questions, so I'm just going to go back over it. We looked at questions 1, 2, and 3 from this, and we would have also looked at maybe doing question 7, but I didn't actually correct it in class. So yeah, yesterday I did questions 1, 2, and 3 in class, and I had asked you to do question 7 then afterwards. Yeah, Grant. Some people did it in class and were finished, and some people had moved on to question 9. So what I'm going to do now is correct questions 7 and 9 on page 214 and 215. We have come to the end of this chapter, and just today then we're going to do a little bit of revision, and the assignment that I'm going to give you for the end of this week is going to be slightly different to the last assignment that you did, and I will explain it at the end of the video. Okay, so going for corrections on page 214, 215. Okay, so like always, you're going to write down today's date. So today is the 27th of January. And first of all, we're doing a bit of homework correction. Okay, so everyone would have had to have done question 7. So the first thing you're asked, this is a net of a rectangular box. When it is folded, it will make a box. Write down the dimensions of the base. Dimensions are measurements. So when you look at the question itself, the base has a length and a width. The length of it is 9, the width of it is 4. So the dimensions of the base is 9 centimeters by 4 centimeters. Okay, so that's what the dimensions are. Then it asks you to calculate or figure out what is the height of the box. Well, the height of the box is how far up the sides come up. So when those sides fold, it's a height of 2 centimeters. Okay, so you're just taking it from the diagram that you've been given. So the height is equal to 2 centimeters. Okay, then you're asked to calculate the volume of the box. And that was a length by a width, remember, and that was my height. So in order to get the volume, it's length multiplied by width multiplied by height. This is not, you have to learn this formula off by heart. So the volume is the length, which is 9, the width, which is 4, and the height, which is 2. You can grab your calculator and you can start typing that in like we're looking at. So 9 by 4 by 2 is 72. And don't forget your units, centimeters squared. Some people are still finding it hard to do surface area, and all I can explain to you is it's very straightforward. And as you can see from every diagram, there are 2 bases that are the same size, there are 2 sides that are the same size, and there are 2 end, front and back kind of, that are the exact same size. There's 2 of every shape. And again, you can have the diagram in front of you to help you with this, or you can work from the 3D shape if you wanted to. But I'm just going to redraw out each of the sides. Now, as you can see, this is just a sketch. And you can see it's every second one. So the base was here, and obviously that's the top. But these 2 things are the exact same size. And we had the measurements of the base there at the start of the question. It was a 9 by 4, and there's 2 of them. So the base and top is just 2 of them, and it's a 9 by 4 rectangle. Okay, and 2 by 9 by 4 is 72 centimeters squared. And actually the volume, just so I'm seeing it there now, that should be cubed. Apologies, I keep doing that. Very easy, make a mistake. Okay, I am also missing the sides off of this, so I'm just going to put them in. And I was told that was 2, and that was 4, and that is 9. Okay, so I'm just putting the diagram on it. So I have the base and top accounted for. The next thing I'm going to work on are these rectangles. There's 2 of them, the exact same size. So I'm going to call them the front and back. There's 2 of them. And the measurement of those rectangles is a 9 by 2 rectangle. So grab your calculators. 2 by 9 by 2 is 36 centimeters squared. And finally, the 2 sides, side 1 and side 2, is a 2 by 4 rectangle, and there's 2 of them. So that's 8 by 2 is 16 centimeters squared. So to get the total surface area, all you're going to do, sorry now, I'm just going to make sure that was fine. All you're going to do is add up those measurements together. 72 and 36 and 16, which is 124 centimeters squared. Okay, so that's question 7 done. I know some people did question 9, so I would like to correct it. The square sheet of metal has a side of 30 centimeters. 4 identical squares of 4 centimeters are cut away, and the remaining shape is folded into a box. Is the box opened or closed? So the box is the white. Okay, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sides to this. And you can see there's 2 sides, there's 2 front and back, but there's only one of these shapes, which means it's going to be an opened box. So question 9, part 1. It is an opened box. 5 sides. The top is missing. Okay, and that's how I know. Part 2, you're asked to get the volume of the box. Now, people's biggest mistake is they probably would have used the 30. But you can see there's 4 taken away from one side and there's 4 taken away from the other side. So it's 30 minus 8 is 22. So the distance between here and here is 22 in fact. So that's 22 and that's 22 and the height of the box is 4. So to get the volume, like you would have seen every other time, volume is equal to length by width by height. And the volume of that is 22 by 22 and the height of this is 4. So grab the calculator and start typing it in again. 22 by 22 by 4 is 1936. And that is centimeters cubed. Good. Part 3 of the question is find the outer surface area of the box. So I'm just going to redraw it out. So I figured out that that's 22 and this is 22 and that's 4 there. But there's 4 of these rectangles on the outside and there's a square in the middle. So I'm going to get the area of one of those. So the area of one of those is 22 by 4. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those because it is a square base. So there's 4 of the exact same things. 4 by 22 by 4 is 352 centimeters squared. Then there's that square shape in the center, which is that bit there. That's a 22 by 22 box. So it's just going to be 22 by 22. And on your calculator, that is 484 centimeters squared. So to get the total surface area, all you're doing is adding up all of the sides, which is 836 centimeters. No, you can't see that. 836 centimeters squared. And that kind of completed your classwork for yesterday. At this stage now, we are revising the entire chapter. Okay, and you should know at this stage what volume is, what surface area is, what a net is, what is perimeter. And we're going to revise and go back over these questions. Some of you will work at a much faster pace than others, but I'm just going to talk about them quickly. And I'll write down the questions that I want you to do. So please take this down also. So your classwork today is page 216. We're going to do questions 1 and 2. Page 217. Questions 6 and 7. And then you're going to move on and you're going to do page 218, questions 13 and 15. Okay, and that's what we hope to get through today. Okay, So just going back over that again, so it's 216 questions 1 and 2, page 217 questions 6 and 7, page 218 questions 13 and 15. And I'm going to just talk about those now for a couple of minutes. In question 1, you are getting the perimeter of each of the shapes. Now, perimeter is the outside distance all the way around the outside. You're adding up the 4 sides. So 18 plus 12 plus 18 plus 12, and you'll get your answer. You do the same with all 4 shapes. Okay, so that's question 1. Question 2 is get the area of these. These are 4 rectangles. It's length multiplied by width. So 18 multiplied by 12 and so on. What you need to take account of is the unit that goes beside it, whether it's centimetres, centimetres squared, and so on. So that's questions 1 and 2. We were talking about splitting up shapes when it came to these kind of odd looking shapes, but we're going to do the same for question 6. In question 6, there's a rectangle and a triangle. You will get the area of the rectangle and the area of the triangle, and then you'll add your 2 answers together. We've done loads of questions like that. We've equally done questions like question 7. You get the area of the big shape, you get the area of the small shape, and you take them away for both of those. Then when it comes to question 13, you are asked to get the total length of the ribbon used to tie the box as illustrated. So there's a ribbon that goes all the way around in one direction and all the way around in another direction. So you're essentially getting the perimeter of the box in 2 directions, and you are going to add your 2 answers together. And the last part is this net here to the right hand side. A closed rectangular box has a net shown. How do I know it's closed? Well, there's 6 different sides. That's how I know it's closed. Find the volume. The volume is length by width by height, and the measurements are there. Then you're asked to find the surface area of the box and correct it to 1 decimal place. That means after, when you've multiplied it all out, you might have 2 or 3 different decimal places. You're going to change it into 1 decimal place at the end. That's your classwork for today. And I'll discuss in class with you then what you need to do as part of the assignment for the end of the week. Thank you.